We're focusing on a topic that's impacting many families, back-to-back hurricanes. As we recover from Hurricane Helene, Hurricane Milton hit Florida, adding stress and uncertainty to the lives of those already trying to rebuild. But it's not just about the physical damage. There's also an emotional toll. That's what Blanca Cobb, who has a master's degree in psychology, and I are talking about today. Blanca, going right into it, how do back-to-back natural disasters affect families emotionally and psychologically?
What can happen when they're back-to-back natural disasters is it can start off this cumulative trauma. The first storm can bring fear, helplessness, anxiety, some nervousness. Then you have the second storm, particularly on the heels of the first storm. Some people feel like they just can't catch a break. It just makes them feel like it's going to be more difficult to recover. So when you have all of these together, it can lead to chronic stress, to hopelessness, and for some people, they can experience symptoms that are reminiscent of post-traumatic stress disorder.
And how does this affect different members of the family, especially children and older adults?
Well, for children, they thrive off of routine and the stability that the routine provides, right?
Yeah.
If they don't have that, then they can have sleep issues. They can become scared of storms. They can become more nervous about what's going to happen because nothing seems right and the future seems to be unpredictable. That's where they need a lot of reassurance from mom and dad. For older adults, particularly those who are experiencing some type of health issue, there could be a lot of stress when they're thinking about being evacuated from their home or possibly being separated from their families. They might think about losing their home, and particularly for some older adults, they're dependent on medicine. And if you have a natural disaster that comes in and wipes everything out, they might be worried about where their medication might end up, which could cause some more health issues for them if they can't get their medicine.
Yes, and let's talk about how to manage these emotions. What can families do to manage the stress between these back-to-back storms? Is there any advice you can give to help people cope?
Yeah, some ways to cope is focusing on what you control. If you only think about all the what ifs, you'll drive yourself crazy because a lot of those what ifs may not even come true. So focus on what you control, what you can control. That could be being prepared in a different way than from the first storm. Maybe you can secure your home a little differently. Maybe you add different items in your emergency kit that you didn't think about or didn't have for the first storm. You start talking about evacuation and where you might need to go. The reason you want to control what you can, it helps decrease helplessness and it gives you more power, more emotional control, say, because you're thinking, okay, I can do this a little differently this time. Also, communication is key. This is for everyone in the family. You, your kids, any older adults in your family, talk about how you're feeling, talk about the fear. You want to talk about it to process it, not to dwell on it to the point where it holds you back and you can't move forward and figure out what a plan is for your family. So you want to be able to normalize those feelings. And then also relaxation is so important. Even a few minutes, this is where you take deep breaths. You think about something different, think about something positive, can be really helpful. And you want to be in the present moment. Again, you don't want to think about all the what ifs because that can it can really drive you crazy, so to speak, because it gets to be too much because you're only focusing on the negative.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you so much, Blanca. You can always continue the conversation with Blanca over on her Facebook page, Blanca Cobb, Body Language Expert.